Okay, so we kind of have our details and stuffs kind of like scaled out and figured out as a base shader. So let's start to split this off into different shaders that will work better for certain stuff. Like we don't really want these like tech details on our like tubes and stuff. So we're going to make a shader that doesn't have those on it. And we don't really want the tech details on our platforms. But what we do want to do is use sort of like a panel sort of oriented texture for that. And then we'll go through and play with some colors here. What I think I want to do for my scene, at least inspired by it, might change later, is to do like a little bit of like a red/blue kind of color palette thing going on. So this will be sort of like my main color. So I'm just going to change that to be some sort of blue for now. Let's try something like that. And then let's control click and drag it and we'll like duplicate that out. Or actually I could double click on the name here and I'm just going to change it to blue_main, and that'll kind of tell me that this is like my main blue color, because eventually we'll have like 3 or 4 different blues just to help separate some stuff and then kind of like fake shadows to be slightly darker than they actually are. And let's change this one to be like our red pipes, because I want my pipes and stuff in my scene to be red. So I'd select that guy. And let's actually come up here to our details. And let's just slide this thing, the detail, like how much it shows up, all the way to white. And that should get rid of that. And I'm just going to come in here and just quickly change it to like a red color for now. I'll just move this to the side right now. And then what I'm going to do is just select all my pipes and assign the color to that. So I have like all my pipes selected, and I'm just going to do like the right click, apply to that. And you'll notice that because the shader's on the asset, it'll override how we kind of apply the shader at like the top of the sort of like groups here. It'll just like take priority, and so now we can start like, once we start applying stuff to the actual objects, you'll see that we start to get them to show up with the proper colors that we want. So I'm getting like a little bit of like the red accent color here. We're still actually getting a little bit of that detail showing up. And we can like just grab the render selection here. I'm just going to like come down here and just to let that render out. And you can see now we're not getting any of those tech details on our pipes there. So I'm just going to grab out, duplicate out the blue main again, and let's make this our walkway color. And then I'm just going to do the same thing here. Let's shrink that down. Let me move that out of the way. Let me grab my main walkways here and just right click, apply that. Nothing will change because we haven't changed the color yet. I'm just going to adjust that. And then we can come here and let's change the walkway color to be maybe like a little bit more towards like a gray. Like a desaturated blue. Something like that might be interesting. I don't think I want to do like a yellow. Yeah, I think something like that for now should be pretty cool. And you can see how you just kind of like start to add in your details and slowly starting adding in your like color palettes and stuff. And your like scene will start to take form. Right now, our little tech details are plugged in, and I'm going to plug in my panels into our walkways here. And let's see how that feels. So there's a lot of panels showing up. Let's bring that closer that way. Actually, I think it might be the other way where we darken it and that gets rid of the panels. So now you see we're just starting to get like little hints of like the panel lines and stuff showing up. But I think they're too small right now. So I'm actually going to come in here and do the scale to like 0.02 and let's see how that feels. Maybe take this guy and bring it back closer to white. So more show up. Yeah, so you can see now we're getting like nice big panel lines. Might be too much showing up now though. Something like that. And I think I want to bring it down a bit to like scale it down a bit by increasing that scale number. Something like that should work pretty good. This texture still has some stuff on it, which is fine. We can always find a new texture, replace it that has less of those like details on it. So yeah, now we kind of went through and we sort of established like a little bit of our main color with like our pipes color, and we adjusted the materials to sort of accommodate for the assets it's on. All right, so let's actually do one more, and this will be like our secondary blue. And I'm going to grab some stuff here and let's apply that to that. Okay, so I'm selecting some stuff here, and you'll notice like, remember when we were sort of like grabbing like these assets and they had like secondary objects and stuff assigned to them. So I'm just kind of like grabbing those because they take up like maybe like 30% of the object. And it's the kind of thing where it's like using the rule of thirds for more than just like your composition. Like it could be like 30% of like your object can be like a certain color, or 30% of the object can have like more details than the other 60%. And then up here, I just kind of grabbed like some of those pieces as well. Maybe do like the door frame. And eventually we'll go and do like even like smaller bits with like a tertiary color. like these kind of guys. Maybe I'll grab that guy, we'll do it that blue as well. So I'm gonna apply those to that. We turn on those. Grab this guy back. And let's change this color here. Let's make it like a bit darker, a little bit more saturated maybe, and see how that feels. Yeah, there we go. So now we're getting like starting to build up some secondary of our primary color here. And let's actually go in and adjust the normals of this guy. So that's fine for now. So I'm just going to select one of those pieces. And they'll have like this normal tag here. And you'll notice if I just delete that tag, it kind of fixes the issue. So I'm just going to do the same thing that we did before, is just control click drag that out, select the similar type, and just delete all those tags. And you'll see that kind of cleans up that issue where we're having with the normals there. So I let it render out with like a full scene. And you can see now we're starting to get a little bit of our scene figured out, and like we're starting to get some like nice details and stuff with like the different colors and how like our shadows feel. And so now it's just kind of like similar processes that we've been doing before. It's just slowly building up those details and kind of figuring out our sort of like block and pieces to how they'll feel in like a final look with like our like kit bash stuff. Now we just kind of have to just go to town on it and detail this guy up. Okay, so I just wanted to add in how to save out your renders and stuff as you're working along. And then you can also use them to like show your community online like your work in progress, as well as on the Domestika forum sharing your work and stuff, so I can like come and like see it, and like all the other students can see it as well. So in this Arnold IPR window, you have like this little snapshot of the current image. So when I click on that, it'll actually bring up, it'll save it to like this picture viewer. And then in here, we can go into the file, save image as, change the format, just do like a JPEG for the whip because it's nice and small file and it's decent. And then everything stays the same, and hit OK. And then you'll save it to wherever you need to save it. I have like my screenshots folder, and then you can see like all the whips that I've been saving. Yeah, I'll just save it as like whip 01. And there you go, you have like your picture saved out for sharing around. As well as it's nice to have like a log of like all your like whips and stuff to see where it sort of came from and like the progress. Maybe you like the old version a little bit better, so you might want to like go back to that with like the colors or something, but I just like to have like that progression. Okay, so we have a bunch of our scene sort of established now with our kit bashing assets, as well as our toon shaders with basic color palette and our lighting and camera direction and all that stuff. So now we can start to dive into the nitty-gritty and start to detail out everything until we have a finished scene.